Every December, people say, next year will be my year, and then fall off by February. But if you're watching this, you're not here for another year of half-finished goals. You want 2026 to be the year you actually transform your mindset, your habits, your finances, and your life. So today I'm breaking down how to make 2026 your most successful, most productive, and most confident year yet, step by step. These aren't the usual new year, new me tips. We're talking practical psychology, routines that stick, and goal systems that actually work. Because success doesn't come from motivation. It comes from structure and self-awareness. Let's get into it. The first one is you have to reflect before you reset. Don't skip reflection because clarity creates power. So sit down and journal. Use these 3 writing prompts. What worked for me in 2025? What drained me? And what am I proud of? For example, maybe you had a really good year and you hit all of your fitness goals in 2025, but maybe you kind of ignored your finances the whole year. Identify the imbalance. Reflection can help you turn regret into data. It's also important to acknowledge the things that you are proud of and the things that you were successful in doing in the previous year, because you don't want to go into it with a negative mindset like, oh, I didn't achieve anything this year. So even if it's something small, identify something that you are successful in and that you are proud of, because having that positive outlook is going to really help you with the rest of the steps. Number 2 is to choose only one focus per season. Most people fail because they chase like 10 goals at once and it's just way too much and they're spreading themselves way too thin. So break the year into quarters, Q1 through 4. For example, Q1 can be a health reset and you're only going to focus on your health and wellness. Maybe you start going to the gym, or if you want to start eating healthier, this is going to be your time to focus on just that. And then Q2 can be for your career growth. Maybe you spend extra time at work, or maybe you take a certification, a course, something that's going to boost your resume. Q2 can be your time to focus on that. And then Q3 can be for finances and investing. You can sit down, take a look at your finances, start tracking your spending, and really see where your money's going. And you can start setting small financial goals and habits to improve your finances in Q3. And then Q4 can be for relationship and joy. You can really focus on your emotional and mental well-being and maybe spend more time building the relationships in your life with your friends and family. Success compounds when you give your energy direction, and that's why it's a good idea to start with your health, because when you feel good, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to accomplish and achieve all of your other goals. So it's good to start with your health and your well-being. Number 3 is build an identity-based goal system. So instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, say, I'm the kind of person who prioritizes their health. Or you might even say something like, I am a healthy person. Your habits flow from who you believe you are. And it's so much easier to stick to your identity, whatever that may be. So be very careful with the stories that you tell yourself and the identity that you give yourself. I was in a weight loss plateau for like 4 years because in my mind, I just like, for whatever reason, believe I couldn't get below a certain weight. And when you have these kinds of beliefs, they really hold you back because your brain will work so hard to just make sure whatever you believe is true. Repeated identity statements literally rewire your neural pathways. So for example, instead of saying, I want to save $5,000, say, I'm the type of person who always pays myself first. Number 4, create non-negotiable systems. Motivation fades, systems don't. For example, you can schedule focus hours. It can be the same time every day. You can set up automatic transfers to your savings accounts and investment accounts. And you can pre-plan your meals or your workouts weekly. This has been especially helpful for me. When you automate things and you take these small little tasks off of your plate, basically, you free up so much mental space and mental energy, because these little things, it may not seem exhausting, but it really does add up. And when you have to make less decisions throughout the day, you just have so much more energy to focus on the important tasks. And we also just love routines and habits. So having routines like Monday you lift weights and Tuesday you do Pilates, for example, it just is really helpful. For me personally, I like to cook a big thing of food on Monday, and then that way I have like a giant thing of soup or whatever the meal is for the rest of the week, and it just makes the rest of the week so much easier, and I'm not having to cook every single day. So little things like this just help you set yourself up for success. The less that you have to rely on willpower, the more systems and habits that you have in place, the more consistent you'll be. Number 5 is to upgrade your environment. You don't rise to your goals, you fall into your environment. And this is why if your space is cluttered, you might feel stressed and less motivated. Recently, I've decluttered a lot and I've really reorganized my space, and I just feel so much more calm and so much happier and more motivated, just like I have more energy. So clean your space, audit your digital clutter, and curate your influencers. Be careful what's on your feed. Too much negativity can really be draining of your energy. And if you get yourself into a place where you're consuming too much negative content, you might find yourself becoming a negative person, and that is one of the worst things that you can do for yourself. I also like to take advantage of the holiday season to do my decluttering, because usually we get a little bit of time off from work during the holiday season. It's a really good time to just start kind of decluttering your space. And I also love to do it right before Black Friday, because it just reminds you how much crap you actually have, and it makes you a lot more intentional with your future purchases. A good tip is that your room, your playlist, and your routines should all remind you of the person that you're trying to become. Number 6 is invest in skill and education. Every new skill adds leverage to your income, but more importantly, it adds leverage to your confidence. Some examples are you can learn Excel, finance, coding, or communication, all top 1% skills. Set a 2026 learning goal. Read 12 books, take a course, or shadow someone smarter than you. There's a saying that if you were to lose everything that you had, the one thing that can help you rebuild everything from scratch really quickly is your skills, because it's like the one thing that can't really be taken away from you, and you'll never regret investing in yourself. It's actually one of the things that I think we don't think about a lot. But whenever you ask successful people, they're always like, invest in the stock market, but also invest in yourself, in your own knowledge and education. And this is why I think the soft life trend is really dangerous, especially for young girls and young women, because I think at the end of the day, knowledge is power. And if you're not willing to go out there and get the knowledge, and you want to just like give up all of your own agency and depend on something or someone else for your lifestyle, I feel like that's one of the worst decisions that you can make for yourself. Like, if I were ever to have a daughter, I would keep her as far away from the soft life mentality as humanly possible, because I would want her to have the best life possible. And I don't think that depending on anyone else is going to give you that. I think it's going to give you a life of dependency, a life of no agency, and a life of no independence. And I wouldn't even want that for my worst enemy. Number 7 is set a financial glow up plan. Don't just wish for more money, design a system. Some steps that you can take: save 20% of your income. And you can start smaller if you need to and just work your way up. So just increase it by 1% every time until you get to 20%. You can also automate investing monthly, even if it's a really small amount, like $50. It's going to add up and give you momentum and motivation. And then track your net worth regularly. I like to track mine every month, but you can also do every quarter. For example, at $4,000 a month income, if you save $800 and invest it, that's going to be $10,000 per year. Another fun, ambitious tip is to add a new income stream in 2026. Number 8 is build your social circle intentionally. You become the average of the 5% you spend the most time with. Audit your circle. Who inspires you versus who distracts you? A really good example of this is if you're around people who mock ambition, you'll shrink your dreams. You'll start to believe them and their negativity, and that's going to hold you back. Start connecting with mentors, events, or online communities of like-minded people, people who match your energy. Number 9 is to track your progress monthly. Most people never check in on their goals. Use a monthly life audit. You can rate each area: your health, your money, your mindset, your social life, and your career. Give them a score of 1 to 10. And then from there, you can adjust your habits accordingly. And be sure that you celebrate small wins, because that dopamine is going to help keep you going. Number 10 is to rebrand your identity. If you want 2026 to feel different, you have to show up differently. And that really all starts with your identity and your self-belief, who you think you are, and what you believe you're capable of achieving. Rebrand your habits, your energy, your routines, your social presence. You're not waiting for your lucky year. You're creating it. This is your year to become unrecognizable. If you like this video, be sure to check out my video on how to get ahead. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!